is Shawna Lynn, and you're watching Backstage Drivers TV. We're here today with Vreeland, a veteran entertainment truck driver who's been working in the business for over 27 years. He's worked for such artists as Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, Rascal Flatts, Trace Atkins, and many, many more. In addition to driving for the rich and famous, he has also been a lead driver for many of the biggest names in show business. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm doing good. Glad to meet you. Watch your videos on. It's good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
Now, I've got a few questions for you.
Sure.
First question, how did you get started?
I took my question. Okay, this is a true story. I went to Wyoming. A friend of mine was in the business. He said, "You want to drive a truck?" And I said, "Absolutely." In the rock and roll business. So I was living in Wyoming at the time, and I went down to the state, and they had a 20-question test. I missed one, and they said, "You have your CDL." And I said, "Really?" And I said, "When do I have to take my driving test?" They said, "You don't have to take a driving test here. Whoever hires you is responsible for your driving." So I had never driven a truck. So next thing I know, it was like I went on Pink Floyd, and I just kind of ended up being out here. Yeah.
And you've been driving ever since?
Yep. Just kind of went out there and just kind of got behind the wheel and learned how to do it. Of course, that was like a long time ago. They don't do that now.
Now, what was the hardest thing being the new guy? What was your hardest challenge?
Nobody showed me what to do. You're pretty much, they would help me at the venue, but it was like, it's different now. But back then, everybody, because you're on your own, you got to learn your maps and everything. And it's like, you just kind of went out there and bit like military. You just went out and just did it. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about this job?
Everything. I think my most favorite part is the end result. I do a lot of work. I do a lot of pre-tour stuff. I call the venues. I get maps and everything. And it's like, I guess the best way I can say this is what people don't see that makes you professional. That's what makes you professional. It's not what they see. It's everything you do before you get there.
Is there anything that you like least about the job?
Not really. Love my job. I love my job. I can deal with all that other stuff. It's like I was thinking about the other day. It's like I love my job. It's like dealing with all this stuff. It's like I love my job. Yeah, I love my job.
And saying that you love your job, who's your favorite artist? Can you say?
I would have to say my favorite artist is because it's and I really mean this. It was Pink Floyd. And not because of the way they treat me, but it was just, that was the first tour I ever did. And it was just the whole experience. And I had to work my way through the whole thing by myself, okay? I mean, I had people help me at certain point of times, but I would walk around and I would look at stuff, and it was just the whole experience. So I would have to say Pink Floyd, yeah.
What's the best tour that you ever worked on?
Best tour I ever did. Best tour I ever did was the Rolling Stones. We only had 4 trucks from Stage Call. It wasn't even really our tour, but we subcontracted out. But it was like getting an American Express card. Rolling Stones, I mean, really, it was like, you got a name, you put it out there, it's like, and they, it was. That was the best one.
That was the best. Were you treated differently, I think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, it's the Rolling Stones. This was 1987, okay.
Right.
The date on this video is we're in 2013. It was 87, and those guys, I tell you what, if you're on a Stones tour, it's unbelievable. But, that's the thing is there's no artist out there that really, like the Stones and Pink Floyd and U2, you got all these artists coming in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying is you got those people that we don't really, if you really think about it right now, there's nobody that really can you think of an artist like you're going to see 30 years down the road? You can't pick them out.
Right. You never know who your legends are going to be. So the fact that, you can reflect now and say, hey, I worked with Rolling Stones, and now, we know now, over 27 years later, that they're legends.
Correct.
Do you have any pet peeves when you manage other drivers?
Oh, God. I would say drivers that I give information to and they don't, okay, once again, going back to this thing, directions. They don't show up and they get lost. That's my most favorite part. I'm lost or, and that stuff. That's probably the most, when you give everybody the information they need to do their job and they don't do their job.
Now, this is the next question. Have you ever had to fire anyone on the job?
Oh, of course. I want to fire everybody every day. I'm a little bit military, as you can tell. But it's just, people in general, they want to be, how can I put this? They want to be told. Truck drivers in general don't like to be told what to do. But in this industry, you've got a lead driver. They are going to have to tell you what to do because stuff has to go in a certain order. It's not like you're just driving a truck in and you're going to the dock and you're done. Things change, trucks change. It's just, you have to go on the fly. So if anybody comes in this business, you have to go on the fly. And somebody's going to have to tell you what to do. And I know you guys don't like that, but you can't change people. Either they got it. It's usually, I'll really be honest with you, if you don't have it within the first 4 weeks of this job, you don't got it.
Right.
Because we're pretty much after 4 weeks, it's pretty, you got it or you don't.
So would you say that it would be a new driver or an old driver? More likely.
That would fire? Mm-hmm. Both.
Both.
Oh yeah, both. Absolutely.
And have you ever had a new driver really impress you? Have you had any that have really just stood out and actually, lasted?
Absolutely. Yeah. If they listen to me. They got to listen. And then what I do is I try to keep the same core drivers around me to try to move to those tours because they back up my play. And I tell those guys to try to teach those guys too. I try to utilize other drivers to teach them, and as long as they're into my philosophy, how I run a tour and everything, because each driver runs a tour. There's no tour out there that runs the same off every book. Every one is different based on the rules. Some guys are I don't know if this was going assholes, and some guys are good guys, but it just all depends. But it's all processing the information to do the job.
Now, you've read the Backstage Driver's Handbook. What are your thoughts?
Read the book and be a professional. The book will tell you how to be a professional. It will. It just, if you're not a reader, just go through it chapter by chapter. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for you. You'll learn something. Read.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for stopping in.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
It's so great to have you.
Are you single?
Sometimes.
Dang. Well, you know what? That's what we do out here. We try.
And I will see you on tour.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you on the website, backstagedrivers.com.